So we're back at Finch Farm. We're here. We're going to be looking at elevator construction. This is one that I already did, sort of an experiment. Finch used to have a tower heading up to the overpass that was composed of a very large footprinted building with multiple levels and staircases inside, and it just chewed up. Absolutely chewed up the available size of the town because there were so many components involved in it. I've managed to cut that down probably by half. I will say you have to build someplace flat or else it just doesn't look right. These things, the support struts, which serve no actual functional purpose, but I hate freestanding structures that don't look like, that look like they're just magically floating out there. Oh yeah, I also built the mule because I need to pick up a whole hell of a lot of scrap and whatnot in order to keep building things. But the elevators are surprisingly functional. I'm not sure if settlers can actually navigate them, but instead of having, oh god, this will be interesting. Instead of having multiple floors with 9 by, or not 9 by 9, but 9 tile footprints, and then having to put walls around all of that and whatnot. You have floor 1, which is right here. You have floor 2, which honestly I just walled in because I like the concept of a glass elevator heading up into the tower here. The tower, which right now is simply because I had to take the whole thing apart. I lost a whole lot of bed space, so I needed to lay down a bunch of beds. And I've never seen settlers actually sleeping in these, so I really don't think that they can navigate the elevators. But then I had to put a second elevator right next to it. And unfortunately, the base piece, doesn't snap to floor pieces. It snapped perfectly well to the, let me get up, get back down. It snapped perfectly well to foundation pieces. I put foundations down and then snapped it right in the middle, and it stuck right there, and it was fantastic. But yeah, it did not snap to any of these pieces, which are just warehouse flooring pieces. So I tried to get it as straight as I possibly could, and apparently missed by just about a degree or so. But anyway, I don't have a second floor on this. I do like the warehouse's ability to build, sort of glassed in upper things, because I was actually able to glass this in and get a slight peak in the roof, so that was actually quite nice. Then you come up to floor 3, which is relatively open air, another living area. It's mostly bed storage, because again, I don't think that they can actually use it. I have a little overlook here, so I can keep an eye on everything down there from the safety of a frickin' overpass, which is just fantastic. And I still have access to the top of the overpass. And frankly, it looks a hell of a lot better than it did before, because now it actually looks like a proper structure. And I still didn't use all the components that I would have needed to. Kind of sad that there isn't... No? There we go. Kind of sad that there isn't a gunner over there right now, because, frankly, when I was building the thing, when I was building the elevator tower, one of them got just a little bit too close to the edge over there, and I just started hearing these things going on. I mean, it was like rapid fire. The rockets were going like machine guns, and I only had one missile launcher up there, so it was fantastic. Just boom, 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 boom. So I didn't realize that they actually worked like that, because I've never, you know, this is like the only missile launcher installation that I have. But that said, we will proceed to elevator construction at Site 2, because there is Grey Garden, which also has a similar overpass, and we can go through some of the, oh dear, Mr. Mule. That is unfortunate. Wow. Okay, where are you? Inside? Oh, God. Yeah, Mule is basically dedicated. I mean, I couldn't give him sentry bot legs, or else he'd be able to carry damn near 600 pounds. Right now, he can only do about 385. But I'm willing to live with that, because he can at least get through doors, and the sentry bot legs can't get through. He was getting stuck in all sorts of buildings, and it just, ugh, sucked. But Grey Garden, which is, need to remember where Grey Garden.
Dangerous world out there.
Whoa.
Good thing too. Otherwise, no business for doctors. Am I right?
Lucas.
Hey, Lucas.
The best armor in these parts.
Tell me you get some aluminum on you.
Let's see what you got.
Got plenty of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Don't eye the Brahmin.
Nothing I want. I took down the walls around Grey Garden because they were really restricting the ability of people to come and go, and that sort of led to some problems aesthetically that I need to fix. But we won't worry about that for now. Here's what I have to work with. Probably tear all this shit down. But yeah, I mean, at Finch Farm, it was a tower pretty much like this. It was, you know, basically crappy shack on big shack on top of big shack on top of big shack on top of big shack. So you'd go in, and it'd be stairs, 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 ugh, stairs, and then finally you're up on top. And honestly, this may look like overkill or unnecessary, but it is actually possible to jump onto this bridge and run up this slope. So I didn't want to take any chances there with that being a possible avenue of attack. And this, you know, if anything spawns over there, which I'm not sure they ever do during a raider attack or what have you, but better safe than sorry, right? Not to mention, it just looked right. So I'm going to have to deconstruct all of this and then start building from scratch. But we will begin that now. See how it goes. You may wonder why I'm scrapping everything. Because I'm never going to use this ugly ass shit again. That's why. Otherwise, I'd just be moving it. But yeah, not going to be using crap wood and crap metal. So, continuing on. Oh, I missed a couple pieces. Pooh. Well, I'll get that when the elevator goes up. Now, That said, you have to figure out where the elevator is going to go up. This might be an okay spot, but I may actually need to build it away from this thing right here and then bridge over to... Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. So yeah, with that elevator in, unfortunately you now need to exit out, figure out where the hell you're going to put power for this thing. And frankly, power for this thing, how much power? I only have 6 power on base right now, so just for the sake of being quick and dirty about it, we will make a large generator and lay it in right there. And then you have to back out again, and you have to go up. So like I said, it's something of a cumbersome process, just because now, go back in, and you have to build, well, you know what I didn't try last time? I didn't try simply, well, that was dumb as shit. Why didn't I do that last time? Ugh. Alright, well, I mean, huh. Alright. How tall was... Oh. I see what happened. Come on. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't necessarily stick. Whew. Alright. Maybe that worked. We will have to see. And we will have to see by building structures. And you know what? We'll stick with the warehouse structures. Just because they have windows. You can do much with them. Make these wood, though, since I have a ton of wood. I'll even build it out over this, because I'm probably gonna do away with that ugly ass crap anyway, but okay, that works. Unfortunately, power lead is there. That's oh wait, maybe I can do this. Yeah, trying to figure out a way to string your power leads is now your next problem. And it can suck slightly. Is there any place? Yeah. Okay. And then I have to run it down there. Which means power pole. Which means I have to go back down. So, yeah. If you don't plan everything out very, very thoroughly ahead of time, you could end up doing the type of crap that I'm doing right now, which is trying to jury rig an entire setup with minimal expertise. How about that? That work? Connects there. And... of course not. Because I just don't have the range. Alright, so... well, it's good to know that I actually can snap that. Sorry about that. It's good to know that I can snap elevators side by side. And let's try not to kill ourselves doing this. There we go. I'm lit. Yay. Oh. And it's the wrong size elevator. Fuck. Ugh. Alright. Did I need a 3? I think I needed... no, I needed a 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I need a 4. Alright. Well, let's see if we can't spoof that again. Come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Have to get rid of that. Is it simply too big? I mean, it's not colliding with anything up there, is it? Might be getting too close to that. I know that I can stick it to a foundation, so maybe... do a foundation? Work around? Maybe? Perhaps? Why won't you just go? Is it too tall for the world? It'll work right there. Yeah, son of a... Alright. We will do it the way we did the last one, which is not ideal, but it is functional. Man, I am really upset. I actually had it stuck on there too. It blows. Oh, where's power? Power's still right there. Alright, good. How close can I get it to this? Reasonably close. But then I run the risk of not being able to... yeah, you know what? We'll just do it this way. Okay. Now, hopefully, level 4 gets me almost as high as I need to go. Oh. Does level 3 put me... level 2. Level 2 can bridge across pretty easily. Don't think Oh, will they? No, they won't. But they might work. Wonder if I can add... I can! Hooray! And then we can make it look a little bit more normal with... What is it? Miscellaneous? No, it's still warehouse. It's warehouse miscellaneous. With these things. Alrighto! That looks almost natural. And I think there are steps for that. Yeah. That'll work. Hooray! Back out. To level 4. Level 3 will be a glassed-in portion again. This will be interesting. Probably gonna have to do the same thing. Oh, that won't connect. Son of a bitch. Whoa! Oh! How bad was that? It wasn't too bad. Right. Am I gonna have to move this back? I'm gonna have to move this back. Just need a little bit more space. Alright, let's try that again. How much did that fuck up? Oh, god. Well, that's interesting. Although, not the worst thing in the world. So, back up to level 4. Just let me put a piece of... Just let me put one piece of floor in here. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, there you go. Oh, come on. It's not going to let me build it to a platform. Why? Stupid railing. Well, we can work on that later. I don't want to attach wire to anything. Alright. So... No. Ugh. Yeah, this just barely cleared the railing, so that's why that worked. Alright. Oh, this could work. Yes? Yes, yes. Excellent. We'll be happy with our one set of steps because, frankly, that's probably about as good as we could ask for. It is still, yes, a little bit finicky trying to get things to work together. But that Whew. Oh, boy. Complete! I now have elevator access up top, although you have to get off the elevator and come around. Still less cumbersome than walking up 6 flights of steps to get to an area that is of dubious to no value whatsoever. And then we can just wall this in, but yeah. So I'm not entirely sure what the problem was before. I mean, I think it probably was a question of it was just slightly, the elevator would have been just slightly too close to this area that jutted out here, but I did manage to stick by pressing very, very, very quickly the attach button. Oh, that's right, we're getting rid of all these. I don't need it to be that big. And I really don't want to block off the greenhouse, you know? Greenhouses do serve a purpose. Yeah, I'm going to take this thing out to its full natural extent. This is going to go away. We'll continue working on the rebuild. One of the things that I do like, I mean, it is, again, purely... Huh. That's interesting. A little weird. Whatever. It is purely cosmetic. It serves no real purpose, but the fact that you can lay these support beams in is really quite nice, because now it doesn't look like I'm supporting my now it doesn't look like I'm supporting my construction with just wishes and dreams. Looks like there may actually be something holding it up. And like I said, functionally makes no difference. Aesthetically makes a tremendous difference, and these things snap pretty easily to each other, so you can make these posts as tall as you need to. And look, suddenly I have an I-beam connecting this thing to the ground. It is structurally secure. You can do that with the concrete stuff too, but it's always so big and bulky and just didn't quite look right for the look that I had in mind. But then whatever does. Nothing really ever does. Let's find a big ass glass wall, shall we? Yeah. I think I can double glass. Yep. Can't do it on floor 2. I'll need to figure out something else for that. I might be able to do it with this. Yeah. But since floor 2 is a dead floor, doesn't matter. So the overall look now is, call the elevator. I'll probably wall a good portion of this in, just for safety's sake. Then you go to floor 2, and what do you have? You have a great view. Then you go to floor 3. You can step off. This will be a living area. Maybe I'll put some stuff up here that would actually entertain the settlers. Floor 2 here. Sends you right off and into a bus. It's actually almost mass transit, but all shitty like. Floor 3 will be glassed in. And floor 4 is looking a little slapdash, but it is still functional. I don't know how high the build ceiling is up here. I should test that out at some point. You know what? The easiest way to test that out? Take the tallest prefab structure that you can, which would happen to be the level 4 elevator. Oh my god. I could actually put an observation tower up here. Oh. Well, maybe I'll do that later for shits and giggles, but for now, continue working on this, and since the basics of dealing with elevator placement has pretty much been dealt with, I can work on fine-tuning the aesthetic of the exterior. So, we will fade, and then fade back in. And when all is said and done, is it perfect? No. But I have gotten rid of that unsightly blight there. Everything looks as though it's reasonably well supported. Generator runs everything pretty well. Glassed in the second floor, which does nothing. Third floor, once again, sort of a placeholder bunkhouse type of thing, but very nice. Everyone here's they've got glass roofs. Because of the placement of the elevator, I couldn't really do a whole lot with that, but you know what, we'll just call it we'll call it aeration. How about that? Go up to the second floor. Have access to the second deck. I'm not sure exactly how far you can push out. I think that that wall constitutes that boundary, and that wall, well, there's really not much beyond it, so there was no point in pushing it out any further. There's not a whole lot that you can do with the second level, unfortunately. I mean, I suppose turn the whole thing into like a, I don't know, mass transit themed disco tech. Glassed in the third floor. Fourth floor is an observation deck. Just because there's, for some reason I couldn't build any higher on that. I mean, I guess I could have, but didn't want to. And finally, as far as I forgot to call the elevator. Yeah, so put in another observation tower. Simply because I have access to elevators, which is awesome. So you can come up here. Oh, that's dangerous. I'll need to fix that at some point. You can come up here, have a seat, patio chair, and just look out over everything. I believe. Well, okay. With the exception of that factory right there, which honestly is on a somewhat higher elevation, so it doesn't really count. I believe that this is the tallest structure outside of the city. I mean, and that's smokestack, so yeah, smokestack doesn't count anyway. But that is what you can do with elevators and the various bibs and bobs that come with contraptions, of which I think the warehouse building pack is a heart, but honestly, I can't remember, and you know, frankly, I'm just lazy, so I can't really be bothered to confirm that. I guess I could put walls on this, but that's really the only final step.
Yes? Huh?
You know, I guess I could make this a little bit nicer for the folks living here, but I'm just not gonna. Because I don't roll that way. It's my town. Take it or leave it. You live here by my good graces. And now the mule and I will go and find more materials to feed our insatiable need to build. I mean, that actually, I mean, from a ways away, that's actually quite pleasant. I could have sculpted it probably a little bit more if I used concrete, but I like the glazed part. I like the glazed effect. It's nice. It's like windows on the world. Anyway, I'm out.